All right, today, food. Looking at the glorious food of Portugal. So I found a cool video, must eat Portuguese foods, top 10 local foods to try in Porto, Portugal. This is an older video, about 3 years old. I haven't seen it yet, but if it's food, so what you could get back then, still going to exist now. And let's get into it.
Travel Beans. I'm Emma, behind the camera is Alex, and today we are eating our way around Porto. In this video, we share with you our top 10 cheap eats and local favourites you should try when visiting Portugal. I think we can all be in agreement that at this point you already know about the famous Portuguese egg custard tart. And if you don't already, go back and watch our previous video where I try it so you can see exactly why you need to have that. Portuguese food, especially in the north here, is very meat heavy. So if you're a meat eater like Alex, you'll be very happy with that situation. But if you're not a meat eater like myself, it can be a little bit tricky.
So if you're going to come and visit Portugal or immigrate to Portugal, you need to understand the local diet isn't going to be the same from your native country. And being Portugal is famous as a meat and seafood country, it is going to have limited vegan options, vegetarian options as well. So you've got to come prepared that perhaps when you go out, especially in more of the regional towns, you're going to struggle to find anything but a salad. And so just be prepared for that sort of thing. In the bigger cities, you'll find vegan options.
In this video, we will be sharing a few veggie options that you can actually have while you're here. Starting off with a Portuguese kale soup. This traditionally comes with chorizo sausage in the soup. However, you can order it without the sausage. And essentially, because it's such a meat-based cuisine up here, they get a lot of their veggies from the soup. Inside the soup, we have kale, potatoes, onions, garlic. I mean, to be honest, it's nothing particularly wildly different from the soups that you probably have at home.
Okay, so one of the great things about Portuguese food is it's simple food done really well. So what you see that goes, it looks a bit simple, it doesn't look like there's a lot to it. It's often nicer than what you think because of how they've prepared it. There's a lot of, Portugal's an old country, so these recipes, traditional recipes, have been around for an awfully long time. So, the quality is there. It's definitely better than what you will get a lot of the time.
But beggars can't be choosers. So let's give it a go. Not entirely confident they haven't used chicken stock for the broth, but it's pretty good. But let's face it, what most of you are really here for is what Alex has to eat.
This here is the ifana, which is a pork sandwich which is boiled in like a spicy sauce. Like, look how good this looks. We've come to a place called Conga, which is also known as the House of Ifana. So in theory, this should be as good as it gets. I mean, it looks good, it smells good. It's like overflowing with meat.
Okay, so Bafana is a good cheap option when you go out, especially if you're on a budget or you're out and about exploring places. This is a good quick option to get, and it's a traditional Portuguese sandwich. They're very nice, and again, simple done well. It's just a lot of marinated meat, nicely cooked on a bun.
That bread sounds amazing.
Unbelievable. Yeah, the crispiness of the bread on the outside, the inside nice and soft. And then the meat is spicy, like tangy, and kind of like oily, like chili oil.
Okay, yeah.
If I didn't have a whole day of meat eating ahead of me, easily I could eat 5 of these. The sandwich theme. I'm now having a Porto hot dog. This place won.
This is one on my bucket list. Never tried it. I only live an hour away. I should actually make the trip to go and get it. $3.70. Pretty good value, really, for a hot dog.
The best hot dog in the world.
Euro, that equates to about $5 Australian.
In 2020. Now, I know that's going to fire up a lot of Americans in the comments, but officially, you don't have the best hot dogs in the world.
Sorry to break it.
Sorry to break it to you. Apparently, this is going to be like no hot dog that I've ever had before, thank God, because if you've ever tried, that's a story for another day. So, this has got cheese, Portuguese sausage, and then they pour like chili oil on top, and it's been like pressed down in a panini, so it's very crunchy. And then they chop it all up. So, are you ready, guys? Ooh, it keeps getting better and better. Oh, that's brilliant. The sausage, almost a little bit smoky, and then the chili and the crunch. Oh, okay, this is fighting it out with the spicy pork sandwich from earlier. These are close to on par.
Wow.
Really, really good. For me, I have now a cod croquette. Obviously, being by the coast, they have a lot of fish dishes here. This one is made with cod, potato, onion, and garlic. Sometimes they have cheese in as well, and it originated here in the north, but it's now a national specialty. I've had a bunch of these over the last couple of days. They're great. I'll show you inside what we're talking about. These things are great, especially when you're like a little bit hungry in between meals. But if you're not really into cod croquettes, they've got loads of different cod croquettes. So just try them all.
Okay, so the croquettes. I personally think they look nicer than they actually are. Obviously, the cod one, it's very fishy, and it's like a cold. I don't think it's overly pleasant to eat. Each to their own, though. If that's something that it's worth trying and see what you like and dislike. I've had, to be honest, none of those things have really, really what's the wording? Yeah, it hasn't been really enjoyable for me to eat particularly, and I normally eat a lot of. I like fried foods. I like those sort of things. But I don't know, maybe it's a texture thing as well, because often it's ground up fish and stuff that's just, I don't know. I just didn't think it was as pleasant as it looks.
This sandwich is probably the most famous thing to try whilst you're in Porto. Now, traditionally, this comes with a combination of meats. I believe usually it is steak, sausage, and cured meat, all inside thick bread, covered in cheese, and then covered in a tomato beer sauce. However, I found one that is vegetarian friendly. So instead of all those meats, you've got tofu, you've got veggie sausage, you've got soy sausage, you have aubergine.
So she removed the fun out of it. So she's not having a francesinha, she's having a vegetable sandwich. Okay, so a proper francesinha. Hopefully we get a look at one in a minute.
All covered in cheese and the same sauce. If you want to see the meat version, go back and watch our previous video where Alex tries his.
Why do I have to watch a different video? Why don't they just doing it to it? All right, so a proper meat one. It's got pork. It's basically lots of different pork, chorizo, some ham. So it's delicious. Has all the cheese. Has the sandwich. Has the egg on top. Very, very delicious. Definitely worth having a go. When you go to Porto or anywhere in Portugal, you'll be able to find them. But yeah, they're definitely prevalent everywhere. Very well worth trying.
Absolutely no intention to try this at all until when I was having his, I dipped a chip in the sauce and it was so good. I am now really intrigued to try it myself.
The sauce is really delicious. delicious.
I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
I believe the Portuguese like to have it with a side of French fries dipped into the sauce.
Yeah.
But we're eating so much today that
I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Oh my god, there's so much. Okay. Jeez, I can't get it all on a fork. Okay, I'm gonna have to be quick because it's all gonna fall off otherwise. There is so much going on in this sandwich. I would argue too much is going on.
It's not a Francesinha. All right.
It's starting to become very apparent that Portuguese are like the sandwich kings. And the next on my list is a steak sandwich. Now, this is found all over Portugal, and it's quite a common dish.
I had one of these in Cominha. Delicious. Yeah, there's something to do with the sauce on this that is definitely worth going. Cominha's on the Spanish-Portuguese border up north. So, yeah, they've got a nice little square there. One of the places had one of these for sale. Delicious.
And it appears to be steak, cheese, and ham.
Australia does a lot of steak sandwiches, but this was better.
Apparently in Lisbon, for example, this is kind of considered almost as a dessert. It usually comes with a beer, and after a big seafood meal, they'll wash it down with this, and that soaks up the alcohol, apparently.
Yeah, gotta say, for the Portuguese, they do some interesting things. Like sandwiches, meat sandwiches are often regarded as breakfast here. Found that out the other day.
I thought, when in Rome, I'll go with the beer as well. Yeah, here's the sandwich.
Never thought about trying it for dessert, to be honest. I'm more of a tiramisu guy.
Again, it's really good. The steak tastes really good. I can't taste the ham.
The only thing I could think of is the reason why you're eating the bread is because often with like fish and seafood, you got a lot of olive oil in your stomach. So maybe they're eating that because it helps just soak up the olive oil. So that's the only thing I think of. I don't know the actual reason, but so their seafood can be very oily, some of their dishes.
The meal that we've gone for is Portuguese tapas. Now, before you attack me in the comments, they don't actually use the word tapas here, but they have their own version. But for our English-speaking audience,
It's basically tapas.
easy to understand it as tapas. Small little plates, snacks, that kind of thing.
And to be fair, that's the name of the restaurant, Tapas and Friends. So
But we've got a few different Portuguese treats. I just want to say, if you're coming here to Portugal, you should probably eat some different fish dishes. They have over 350 ways of having cod, for example. That's a Google.
I think it's 400. The chorizo on its plate, you can buy it fried. So that's pretty delicious. A lot of those things you'll find are entrees at most restaurants. So this place has probably just put a whole lot of like entree style size dishes in there, but yeah, they're delicious. Definitely well worth it. When you go to a restaurant, order some of the entrees, get some of the traditional foods.
I'm not the biggest fish fan, but I'm a massive meat fan. And that is what I've gone for. And I'm so excited to try a couple of these different things. One is this chorizo sausage, and at the bed of it is a Portuguese liquor, which they light in front of you. This is something that they have all over Portugal, I believe, but
They do.
this specific sausage, it's called like a wine sausage, is local to the Porto area. I need to try it, okay?
You've been drooling over that ever since they cooked it.
I quite like sausage. It's been cooking it. Oh, the other thing that I've gone for is cacao, which is beef, which is usually in a spicy sauce. Inside here is olives, onions, carrots. I don't know what to expect with this one, but I have been recommended it. I guess.
Just gonna eat it straight from the pot.
Go all in, I guess.
Never had that. You've got to try it.
Don't mind me.
Picking out a pip. That's a lot of noises that you're making right now. Positive noises.
The best way I could describe it is like a beef stew, but with the olives. It's like beef stew with olives, almost. And again, my palate is pretty
As
limited.
for me, I haven't gone for anything particularly traditional, as veggie dishes aren't that traditional up here. So I've gone for a mushroom in white wine sauce, some bread, some olives, and some truffle butter. It doesn't help that I'm actually not that hungry after that massive sandwich I had at lunchtime. So this is a nice level for me. Firstly, there is a lot of garlic in those mushrooms. I can smell it from here.
Well, I'll be
I mean, it does sound good.
Brilliant.
Nothing wrong with a
That's
good
good to go.
vegetarian vegan dish.
So rude. Ooh, that was different from many white wine mushrooms I've had before. That has like a bit of zest to it. Like there's some like lemon juice or lime juice, something like that in there. Really, really good. I mean, am I going to review olives and bread?
Probably
No,
not.
probably not.
We'll leave it there. Have a great day. If you've got some food that you recommend, feel free to put it in the comments. I've got a lot to put on my bucket list. All right. Have a great day.